I've got multiple study Bibles. I love my multiple study Bibles. And for some reason, they conclude, I believe incorrectly, that that little horn in Daniel 7 and Daniel 8 is Antiochus Epiphanes. I'll tell you why it can't be. Because if you take a look at this graph right here, and you take a look at all the characteristics of the little horn, those 10 characteristics, let's see where this Antiochus Epiphanes actually appears. Okay? And he appears during the latter part of the Greek Empire. Okay? You have Cassander, Lysimachus, Seleucid, and Ptolemy. Okay? Antiochus Epiphanes would come under the Seleucid Empire. Okay? And it would be 175 to 164 BC. That's when Antiochus Epiphanes would rule. And look where he's at. He's before the cross of Christ. Okay? Now, how could Antiochus Epiphanes fit all those 10 characteristics of that little horn? Look on the screen. Okay, let's see if those characteristics apply to Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay, a little horn meaning a little king. Okay, I guess that first one might apply to him. That seems fair. He was a little king. It comes up from among the 10 horns. I don't know. That really doesn't fit, because those 10 horns, that's basically the successor states of the Roman Empire. So that's way past 476. So it doesn't fit number 2. Number 3, 3 horns are pulled out. He doesn't fit that one. He didn't uproot 3 other kingdoms like we saw the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths. And eyes and a mouth speaking great. I guess you could apply that to him. He did have an eyes, he did have a mouth, and he spoke greatly, boastingly. Number 5, speaks out against the Most High. I guess you could potentially apply that to him in the sense that he set up idols in the Jerusalem temple and sacrificed pigs and everything. Maybe that's speaking out against the Most High. It's possible. Number 6, arises after the 4th kingdom and after the 10 horns. No, there's no way. Rome has to continue on after 476. The successor states of the Roman Church, of the Roman state, have to emerge, the barbaric tribes. So it doesn't come out of that. Different from the other horns? I don't think so. Antiochus wasn't different from the other horns. He was just one other king in the Seleucid Empire. Persecutes the saints. This one, you could say he did persecute the saints in a way. You could say that during his time when he did desecrate the temple. He intends to make alterations in times and laws. I don't think that fits Antiochus. It just doesn't fit him. I mean, that fits more with the Roman church date system. The saints are given into his hand for a time, times, and half a times. That's 1,260 literal years. Let me ask you one last question about this. This is why I don't think Antiochus fits the description, because here you go through Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, divided Rome, Europe. Okay, we're talking about 1,000 years from the time of Babylon, 605 BC to 476 AD. That's over 1,000 years. And then the rest of the chapter in Daniel chapter 7 talks about this little horn who would be 1,260 literal years. Okay, that's about the right amount of time that you would apply all those scriptures to it, to spend all that time explaining what the little horn's doing and then applying it to some one small king who does what he did back in 164 BC-ish. It just doesn't fit. Now, look on the screen. It makes much more sense when you take a look at the broader perspective of what's going on. That's exactly what happened. It is none other than the Roman church date system. Again, God's people were taken captive for that time period during the medieval church date system. Now, that system is no longer with us. It doesn't exist today. Okay? But I want to tell you this, even though that it was done away with, that system will emerge again at the very end of time in a new world kingdom order, and we're going to unpack that when we get to Revelation, okay? And we're going to unmask and we're going to discover greater biblical truths related to this study. Like what you see? Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Or you can go to angelsintheglen.org. That's angelsintheglen.org. We've got an entire series for you to take you through the events that must take place before Christ returns. God wants his people ready. It's not a time to fear, it's a time to be ready. I hope you'll join us.